Welcome back to part 2 on how and why I became Muslim. In my last video, I kind of already talked about why and how I got into Islam, but I'm going to tell you guys my struggles, and I'm going to be very open and honest. And honestly, I have a lot of struggles, but like I said, I'm going to be very open and honest. Starting off, in general, I don't like to tell people that I'm Muslim, right? Only because I'm afraid of my reaction depending on their reaction. I do have a lot of anger and I don't have patience. So if somebody honestly makes me mad as fuck, I will go off. I don't know why. I've always had such an angry soul. And yeah, like I just don't have patience. And I absolutely hate it when people try and make me mad or they disrespect me, because when somebody fucks with me, now it's like I gotta hurt you. You know what I'm saying? In general, religious or not, I don't tolerate bullshit. I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't tolerate racism. You know what I mean? I'm not the one to fuck with. And I typically don't have a filter. If somebody were to tell me like, oh, why are you Muslim? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a pedophile, I will deadass tell that person, bitch, your daddy is a pedophile, that's why you exist, or some shit like that. If you can't tell, I talk a lot of shit, okay? So when it comes to me being patient, me being angry, and what I say and how I respond, that is something that I really need to work on, especially if I'm gonna sit here and say that I'm Muslim. When I tell you that, you know, the Americans who are Islamophobic try and come at me, I'm not the one to play with, okay? I'm not a typical Muslim woman who's very calm, she doesn't give a reaction, she's sweet, whatever. I'm not the one. I'm the exact opposite. Like, I will come at you, I will probably whoop your fucking ass. So yeah, Americans who are Islamophobic hate to see a bitch like me coming, because like I said, I'm really not the one. And honestly, at the end of the day, I truly do not care what people believe in, because in my life, this is my reality, this is my world, this is my path. You know what I'm saying? Just like you, that's your world, but this is my world. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. You're not gonna sit here and try to convince me to believe in your religion because my religion goes against your religion. I don't care. And I'm also not gonna tolerate the haram police, okay? Don't even start. One last thing, I'm not gonna sit here and argue about religion. I just don't care, okay? I don't care what you believe in. I'm not gonna try and convince you to believe in my religion, and you're not gonna try and sit here, you know, and convince me to believe in your religion. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, another thing that I really struggle with is modesty. The way how I see things and the way I think, it's really a struggle for me when it comes to debating on if I want to be more modest or not. Let's talk about it for a second, okay? And I'm gonna be real, okay? Like I said, I'm a very open and honest person. I've been naked before, okay? And I've been modest before. So at the end of the day, I do prefer to be more modest. Now, as a former 304 girly, right? The girl who I used to be is not the girl who I am. And the girl back then used to chase male, like honestly, male validation and male attention. So yeah, I would wear certain clothing for male attention. But now I'm to the point and I'm at the age where it's like, I truly don't give a fuck about men. And I don't even want men talking to me, looking at me, even lusting over me. So yes, I do prefer to be more modest. But then again, right, I know that it doesn't matter how revealing or how modest a woman dresses, a man will always be fucking lustful, okay? Dirty dick demons. And when I tell you that men will literally sit here and lust over everything and anything, they will. Even if I was in a burqa, okay, and if I spoke, if a man heard my voice and thought it sounded sexy or sweet, he could literally lust over that. I'm honestly just stuck between, you know, what I want to do for myself, but also I understand that when you become Muslim and you're a woman, you have to dress according to the religion for the sake of Allah. I understand. When it comes to me and dressing modest, I'm also a full believer that it shouldn't be the women that have to be so modest. It should be the men that lower their fucking gaze. But anyways, if y'all see me dressed more modest, you know what I mean? Now you know why. Okay, forget the modesty and everything else that I said. Another thing that I'm really struggling with is learning Arabic and just remembering how to pray and whatnot. I feel like I have undiagnosed ADHD, so it's really hard for me to retain information. It's always been like this, even in school, whatever. But I'm really trying to learn Arabic, you know? And before anybody comments like, oh, why do you need to know Arabic? First of all, babes, that is the written language for Islam. Just like Christianity, real Christianity outside of America has a written language, okay? Judaism has a written language. So yeah, like when you decide to become Muslim, okay, you have to learn Arabic. It's the written language. I personally know Hispanics, right, that have learned Arabic for the sake of Islam. You want to know what's so crazy though? Ready? I'm gonna blow your mind. When it comes to Islam, only 20% of Arabs and Middle Easterns take up the religion. You should look up who takes up the majority of Islam. I bet it's gonna blow your mind. Anyways, remembering things is just so hard for me. Okay, when I'm reading the Quran and I'm trying to remember, you know, a specific surah, can't. Praying and trying to remember all of the steps, very hard. Learning Arabic, very hard. Remembering all the times to pray, hard. Even the steps to make wudu, I forget. You see what I'm saying? Like, I forget the smallest things. Feeling the spirit of being a Muslim is hard, especially in the type of environment that I have, even during Ramadan and Eid. Yeah. My first Ramadan 2 years ago, I couldn't even participate because I was pregnant. Eid, don't even get me started. This most recent Ramadan, I tried, but because I was in my haram relationship, I just did not feel the spirit. So hopefully next Ramadan, inshallah, I can experience it and eat. Just like I said in my last video, I don't care what religion somebody follows. I don't care what you believe in. At the end of the day, religious or not, nobody's perfect. So this is my journey, and it's gonna take me a while to get to where I want to get to. I just need to step back from America for a little bit. I need to go where there's other Muslims.